So for those of you who don't know, I've yet to shoot a deer this year, and I set out tonight on a trip where I thought I was going to get a deer because the past few sits I had were about 50 yards behind this spot, and every time I saw a bunch of deer, but none of them really got close enough to shoot, and they all went up to this field. They all went up a hill to the right of me, right to the edge of this field. And so I told myself, man, tomorrow I'm going to sit right there at the edge of that field and wait until one comes out. And me and Jackson have been seeing a lot of bucks. Little bucks, sometimes big ones. But when we're in the woods, mainly it's those small, like 6-point, little spikes, 4 points, and stuff like that. But, so occasionally, we'll see like a massive one. When we're not even hunting. Like we'll be driving down his street and we'll cross his road. It's like a 12-point or something. And so it gets our hopes up. But yeah, listen, I still have yet to shoot a deer. So I'm just trying to get a deer to get the first one out of the way. And so yesterday morning I told Jackson, I'm like, I'm gonna sit right here in this spot and I'm gonna get a deer. And he goes, alright, well let's see about it. And something told me, I don't know what it was, but something said, get out to your stand early. Because I plan on getting to my stand around like 5:30. Just like right when I get out there, I mean, sun starts to slowly set and deer start to come out. But something told me to go out around 4:30. So I got out there around 4:30. I set my stand up, the wind was blowing just perfect. The wind was blowing straight where I wanted it. And I sat down on my stand, I was about 18 feet high. And I was about 10 yards away from the edge of the field line. Not even, maybe 6-7 yards. And so I'm up there in my stand. I figured I wouldn't really see anything until later in the evening. And so I get on my phone, text Jackson, text my mom saying I made it up in my stand. And I put my phone down and I hear a noise to my left. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And so I look to my left and I see a deer. And it was about 10 yards to the left of me, walking up the hill. And so it was going up the hill, and there's a big old stump, like 8 feet high stump. And I just watched it clear the thing. And I was like, whoa, like that thing really just did that. And there were two shooting lanes for me. One was to my left, and one was straight in front of me. And so right when the deer walked out in the field after it cleared the stump, that was my shooting lane to the left. And so instantly, I stood up, I was ready, I grabbed my bow, I drew back on it, realized my camera wasn't on. So I let go of the release, didn't let go of the release, I lowered the bow, I quietly and slowly turned the camera on, moved it right to the deer, and as you'll see in the clip, it started there and slowly walked to right in front of me, about 8 yards away, and it just stopped. And it knew something was up, and it looked right in my direction for about 2 minutes. And it would not give me a shot. And so I was just standing there, motionless, breathing. I was like, oh boy, like I'm gonna shoot this deer. And so I'm sitting there, not even moving. I can't move or it'll know me and it'll take off. And I couldn't. It was a buck. I couldn't quite couldn't really tell how big it was. Like if it was a 6-point, if it was a 4-point, couldn't really quite tell just because it was behind some branches. But after about 2 minutes of the deer staring and not realizing I was there, finally it turned broadside. As soon as it turned broadside, put the thing in, cocked it back, and put it on it, and just shot. And so the deer was about 10 yards away, not even. And for my first deer ever, I wasn't really thinking. So I aimed with a 20-yard pin, and as shaky as I was, I aimed with a 20-yard pin, and as shaky as I was, I shot and I dropped my whole shoulder. And due to me shooting with a 20-yard pin and dropping my shoulder, the bow, or the arrow, shot high. And when you miss a deer, you normally don't want to hit a gut shot or else you'll never find the deer. But sometimes you get lucky and you'll hit a spine shot and the deer will drop on sight. And that's what happened. I spined the deer. It was the best spot to miss at. And dropped right there. Took 5 seconds to sink in, and I started gasping for it. I was like I just shot this deer. It all sank in. And I called Jackson. Jackson wouldn't answer his frickin' phone 2 times. So I had to call his mom, and I had some tears going down my eye. I was screaming. I was full of emotions. I was like screaming in my phone, like, put Jackson on the phone, 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 and he couldn't believe it. He was like, there's no way, because I was out there for like 30 minutes, and yeah, he was making a video for Future. He was making a Future video in his house, so he didn't really get out to hunt last night, but yeah, I spined it, dropped on sight, and I waited for it to give me another shot, and I had to put another arrow in it, and I had to make sure, like, to actually put it down this time, so I had to put another arrow in it, but that's the story. It was crazy. You'll see how it goes right here.
So we made it up to my spot right now. I'm kind of where I was the other day where I saw a few deer, but I'm just up on the edge of the field right now. Apparently, so like right where I was on the other spot, I saw like a lot of deer, and they all came from this spot. So right now it's about 5 o'clock, and I'm just waiting till like 6:30, and hopefully all the deer are just gonna migrate right back here like they have been. And hopefully I can get a shot on them, because I've yet to shoot a deer, so that's the hope. So yeah, I'll get back to you guys if I see some action.
Alright, so Austin just called me. Apparently he smoked a 4-point. So I just got on the 4-wheeler and we're gonna head out there and help him get this deer back here. But woo! What a day, dude. Woo!
Jackson.
Yeah.
I look up and Jackson, he was literally 6 yards from me. 6 yards.
6 yards?
Like he was sitting there at the base of the field. I smoked him! Yes! Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Let's go, baby! Yes!
Oh, baby!
What happened?
Oh.
I said some words I should have on my camera.
Dude, that's awesome. He's literally right down there. That's a deer right there.
Get that broadhead out.
First deer ever for Austin Miller.
Let's frickin' go.
Nice little 4-point.
Here on Austin's camera right now. I got him, boys. First deer ever down.
So after I shot the deer, I called Jackson. He came over with a 4-wheeler, and I was still off my tree stand, and I was rushing to put everything together, put everything in my bag, drop it down, get the climber down, and get ready to take this deer out and get it gutted. And the deer was literally 2 yards away from the base of my tree laying there. Like, it dropped and went right there to the bottom of my tree. So it wasn't much of a track job, but I was getting down from a tree. Jackson showed up, and we shared the moment together. It was insane. And so I got the deer. Me and him. The antler was stuck under a branch. It was a big log. It was stuck under it, like wedged in it. So we had to like maneuver it out, and we had to drag the deer like 10 yards out of the woods and get it on the edge of the field so we can field dress it. And after we did that, Jackson totally left his parent and his dad and my dad out there at his house because he took the 4-wheeler. So he had to rush the 4-wheeler back all the way to the house, grab his dad, and bring them all back to the deer. And it was about a mile away from the house, not even, maybe about 600 yards. And so, I mean, it was crazy. And as soon as he left, I tried to film more on the camera, but the storage was full. So that clip of the deer was the last few seconds I had of storage on my SD card. So that was pretty crazy. And probably one of the craziest things was I told Jackson before that hunt that I was going to get a deer tonight. And so it boosted my confidence a lot because I knew there were going to be deer in that area, and I kept telling myself I was going to get one, and I was due because I've seen so many deer, and none of them have given me a shot. And for this buck to walk out in front of me was insane. I truly thank God, because that's all I can thank. I mean, he was watching over me, and he put that deer there, and now we're going to have a freezer full of meat for the next few months. So, truly a blessing.
So I just got my first deer ever.
Yes, sir.
It was a 6-point, but only 3 of the points scored. So I don't care, it was a buck. It was my first deer ever. Gutted it on site without a problem. Right now we're going to good old Chet's.
Chet's to get this thing butchered.
Get it all butchered up, get some nice old meat in the freezer, and tell them to cut them antlers off so I can keep them son of a guns. But we're almost there now, so yay.
After we got the deer all field dressed and stuff, we took it over to our butchering place a few miles down the road, and he's a family known, so both our families know him pretty well. He's a good guy, really good guy, and he does a really good job. And it's kind of funny because my mom always gets meat from other people. Like, he butchers it, my mom gets the meat from other guys. So it's kind of funny when I got there. He's like, "Oh, you're her son? Oh, finally she gets someone in her own family to get her a deer." So that was kind of funny. But after that, we went back and watched the film over, watched the shot, shared it with our families, and it was a really cool experience. One of the most fun experiences I've had. And hopefully now, me and Jackson are both only going for like trophy bucks, so They're in the area. They're in the area. But I think we're only going to go for big bucks. So hopefully we can get one in the rut next week. That'd be pretty insane. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. There should be a few more videos coming out next week. Jackson and I have some videos already planned out that we're going to film and edit and post for you guys. But just want to thank you guys for tuning in, and stay with us for next week, so we're going to have some more videos for you. Thank you.